Hello everyone, how are you? How are you? It is Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and this is the TERRAN Lamp Show, episode number 56. Episode number 56. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got some great news this week. We've got a great guest, number one. And number two, I'm officially now a podcaster. So you can follow this show, the TERRAN Lamp Show, on pretty much all platforms. So we are on IGTV, we are on YouTube, and now we are on all podcast platforms. So make sure you are following the show. Make sure you're checking out prior episodes. Make sure if you have a story, and we know you do, that you get in contact with me. I would love to have you on the show. We are now booking guests into 2022. So thank you so much for your support. If you would like to maybe be a sponsor of the show or anything of that nature, please let me know. We are looking for ideas to expand the show, get more guests, get more people, get more ideas. I just want to hear your ideas. I started this right here in my kitchen, and here we are, and it's growing. And like I said, we are on week number 56. This is our 56th episode, and we are booking into 2022. So I'd love to hear your ideas on what you'd like to see, who you'd like to hear. Tag somebody in the comments who should be a guest. I would love to have them on the show. And thank you so much for all your support. Again, this is episode number 56 of the TERRAN Lamp Show. You can now see us on pretty much all platforms. We are on IGTV, YouTube, and all the podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts. Just look and follow the TERRAN Lamp Show. So again, thank you so much for your support. And I see my guest is here, Michael. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Let's see. There you are. What's up, handsome?
Hello, 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 TERRAN. How are you doing today?
How are you?
I'm doing well. I am doing really well. Today is just for everyone tuning in and for you coming in live from San Diego. And today has just been an absolute gorgeous day. Super sunny outside. Went for a walk this afternoon with my beautiful bride to get ourselves a coffee from one of our favorite locations here, and just been looking forward to spending some time with you and sharing my story. And congratulations on the growth of your show, the fact that you are now expanding to podcast realm.
Yes.
Super exciting how like this show started from your kitchen and how it's been growing and expanding.
Well, I want to thank people like yourself, like you and I. So a couple of things. His beautiful bride, by the way, will be on next week, so we'll get a chance to see her as well. Yay, yay, yay. And, I just want to thank people like you. We met at an event to give back for patients like myself with heart disease.
That's right.
And, when I text you or a DM you or however I got a hold of you and I ask you, you're so grateful just to say yes. So this show couldn't happen if it weren't for people like yourself and people that are watching and people that are willing to share. I mean, I wanted to reach a lot of people. I want it to be just a positive thing. It started, like I said, during COVID for people to just listen to people's stories, because I believe that everyone has a story and that everyone can learn from everyone else's journey. And I just want people like yourself for being so grateful to say yes, right? Because with people like you to say yes, there would be no show.
Yeah.
So I'd be talking to myself.
And I would love to add to that, but please let's get.
No, go ahead. It's you.
So, preparing for today, and thinking about our path and how our paths have crossed. Mm-hmm. The fact that you and I met, I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It was in, was it Grant Park?
I think it was Grant Park. I I didn't even know all the parks yet because had not been in Chicago that long. But I think it was Grant Park.
Okay.
It was by the water. I remember it was
Yeah,
by the water.
it was Grant Park. I got hired to DJ the Heart Foundation's 5K walk run, and you were the special MC for the very first event that I DJ'd for, and you and I immediately connected. We went over the timeline, figured out exactly what points to hit, what was happening next, what was going on, what to pay attention for, and like from there, you and I have stayed connected through social media, and I have followed your journey as you have shared more and more of your story, and how everything has just cultivated to this point in time now is amazing. Absolutely amazing, TERRAN. And I'm just honored to be a part of your show, that our paths have crossed.
Yes.
Not only I get an opportunity to share who I am and my story, and Cynthia next week as well, but just following along as you continue to grow and expand.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I say it on the, it's about positivity. It's about love. It's about connecting people and, giving back. To your point, we met at a heart disease event, and I'm a heart disease survivor, cancer survivor. And I just wanted to do something, like I said, like to connect everybody. And I love stories, and I love hearing from people like yourself. And like I said, I want to reach out to all my guests every week and give them a hug, give them a virtual hug. So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about your story and kind of how you got to, where you are. Like I said, we met at an event, and you were, the DJ at the event, but I know you do that, and you do a lot of other things. So give us your story.
Sure. So I guess for what I do on the daily is I am a mobile DJ. It is a passion of mine that I've had the privilege of turning into a full-time opportunity since 2016. Before then, I had a full-time job that I liked, and it was like, but I wasn't fully in love with it. I met go as high as I could go, couldn't go any higher in the company, and music has always been a draw for me. I've always been just attracted to any type of music, whether it's current music, any type of genre, and I really wanted to channel that creativity through the medium of DJing. And what I did is I started like a side hustle in getting opportunities to DJ for couples on their big day.
Okay.
It turned, unbeknownst to me at that time, it turned into something that I really love. I love being part of couples' big day. I love the seeing and hearing, going through their ceremony, listening to their vows, listening to their heartfelt emotions and what they share between one another, and then bringing family, friends together to celebrate this couple during their wedding, which is the reception part, and then just dancing the night away. It's something that I've just absolutely love. I've been doing it for, a long time now, and I wake up every day with a smile on my face, knowing that I get an opportunity to serve couples, and to not only that, but to give back with our foundation and other nonprofits that try to raise money for their service, for their nonprofit, not only here in San Diego, but in Chicago and San Francisco as well.
So let me ask you, when you started this as your side hustle, did you, in a million years, did you think to yourself, like, one day I want to do this full time? Or did you, did it just, come on you, like, I'm going to do this full time? Or did it just happen? A lot, like, I think about this show, and like, I thought about, I'm going to bring on a couple people, see how it works out. And, 56 weeks later, here we are, right? Still doing it. So Did you think about it as being something then full time? I know you had the love of music, but did it hit you like, or when did it hit you maybe? And you know what? I could do this. You know, I could take that leap.
Yeah. So fantastic question. At the beginning, I didn't have the belief in myself that I could be a DJ. Um, like just like I am naturally introverted. So
Mm,
at home, I like to just relax and chill. Not extroverted at all. However, people see that as like, well, how can you be a DJ and be introverted? Well, let me
mm,
explain. I look at DJing as like a skill that you have to learn, and it's something that I did apply to learn too, and it's something that I turn on. It's a switch. So
okay.
when it's time for me to perform, it's go time. Like an actor or a thespian,
Mm-hmm.
practicing and going through their lines, it's go time. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I view myself as a DJ. And to answer your question, I didn't right away, I didn't have a clue in the direction that I wanted to go. I
Mm-hmm.
knew that DJing is the goal. I didn't know if I was able to achieve it. And then when I had to take that leap and jump out of the plane, was when I had a really heart-to-heart conversation with Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
She saw that I have a passion for this,
Mm-hmm.
a desire to improve and to better myself. And at the time, there was an actual DJ academy in the Chicago I attended, and I really wanted to be a part of it so that I can hone and skill my craft. I was okay as a DJ before going to the academy. I really wanted to improve, and so Cynthia said, "Hey, in order for you to get to the level that you need to get to, like you need to pour into yourself and you need to study and you need to let these instructors teach you the proper way of DJing, of
Okay.
of transitioning, of phrasing, and being able to mix different genres at any given moment." And I, after talking with her, I made the decision, took the leap to attend the academy. I graduated in 2014, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just been this upward trajectory of becoming a full-time DJ in Chicago, and then connecting with the company that I'm currently with, which is Cajun Aquarium Production.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the fact that you're telling us because I'm sure there's different schools of thought, right? Like I like the fact that you told us you actually I coming from LA and knowing what you said about your craft, right? Like I love hearing people that say, I'm going to practice my craft because somebody saw me in LA and asked me, was I an actress? And they thought I was joking. And then I said, no, because I'm not. And they thought I was joking and they had me read a script. And then they realized, no, she's not joking. Right. And so I know things like this are, like you said, a craft, and you have to. And I like that you're telling the audience, to practice their craft, to hone in on their craft, to get better at their craft. And now I know some of the ways, some of the ways are just kind of to wing it, if you will.
Yeah.
But it sounds like from what you're telling me that you actually learned a lot, and you're continuing to learn. But that first step of taking that leap and getting into the academy and practicing and learning your craft, like I say legitimately, I don't know if that's the right word, but really, like you said, it has helped you a lot. And your support, right? It sounds like you had some great support, because we all need that great support behind us, supporting us. But, so I feel like you're saying to us that practicing and that honing in of your craft, as far as getting education behind it, has totally came in handy for you.
100%. If it wasn't for the community and the culture that I entered into within the academy, I would not be the DJ that I am. Hands down. I have to give like 100 credit, like 1,000 credit to my instructors and my peers that pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And I like what Philip has said in comments, education will always better you 1000%.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I could not achieve higher goals for myself unless I poured into myself that
Yeah.
education. And the community and culture at the academy helped elevate my experience, but it also created this idea that I can believe in myself.
Yeah, that inner, yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to ask about that because I'm sure.
before
Yeah.
before the academy, I I didn't believe in myself. I had a lot of self-doubt, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of fear-based mentality that like, oh, you can't do that. You can't achieve this. There's no way. Like, why even try? And I'm so glad I jumped.
Mm-hmm.
The the opportunities that have presented themselves up to this point, like I'm still amazed that, you know, I'm just I'm just a kid from Chicago that
Mm-hmm.
grew up in a low income housing. I didn't really have much. My mom worked 3 jobs to support my brother and I, and she
Go mom.
go mom indeed. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's shining down from heaven now, and I know that she's proud of both of her boys. And she instilled in me the like that work-based mentality that you got to work for it. Nothing is going to be handed to you. And I took this leap of faith and believed in myself that I can achieve,
Mm-hmm.
that I can be more than what my at the time what my mind was allowing me
Mm-hmm.
to go to.
Yeah, I think you took the leap. My husband sometimes he says, you know, you bet on yourself, right? You
Yeah,
bet, you bet on yourself and you won. And I think, and forgive me if this is not the case, but I just see it as this, you know. So maybe it's my perception, but you know, I think that you're in a space that people might think that what you do, you know, it's fun. When every time we see you, it's fun. It's exciting. It's entertainment. I mean, this just flows off, you know, your tongue, and you just scratch around, and there we go. But I think what we're hearing is a lot of hard work, guys, and dedication behind this. You
absolutely.
know, and you didn't just roll out of bed and learn and know how to, you know, do this. And I think that that's what is inspiring to me and should inspire others, is that, you know, we have something out there, and to some people it may look like, or do we have people out there like yourself, like, what he does looks so fun, you know, it's great, I want to, but you got to be willing to back it up, you know,
Absolutely.
you got to be betting on yourself. It's, you know, I know everybody won't have the support system that some of us have, but that helps, right? And then you got to go out and you got to actually do it and put that action behind it, because I'm sure when you got into it there were some surprises that you thought, or were there, let me ask you, were there any surprises that you were like, oh man, I didn't know this was gonna, I wasn't betting on this.
Absolutely. So when being a part of the community and the culture,
Mm-hmm.
it really stretched me in my comfort zone. One point I'll showcase with you and everyone listening and watching is at the academy. Um, every student for their final in whatever class that they were taking, whether it was mixing or scratching, you had to present that final in front of your peers, in front of all of the instructors.
Mm-hmm.
And all the instructors at the academy are professional, like well-known instructors in the Chicagoland area. So not only it was it intimidating, but it was also nerve-wracking to perform with my peers. And let me tell you, like the DJ culture, they do not pull any punches with each other. If
Mm-hmm.
you are not a good DJ, word gets around fast.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. And it like, and I'm not saying that in like a shade, like a side shade kind of thing.
Right.
You know, in this profession, it is a fun job, but it is still a job. And with that comes practice, comes pouring into your skill and craft, taking the time to learn
Mm-hmm.
the beat match, the phrase, and all of that. But going back to the academy, And when I had to present my final in front of everybody, I had that aha moment where
Okay.
at first I was intimidated by the instructors.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, what they were trying to do was be inspirational to the up and coming students. So instead of me having the mentality of them holding me down, they were actually extending their hand,
Mm.
all the students, their expertise, their wisdom, their knowledge, what they've gleaned from their years of DJing, they were pouring into us.
Yeah.
And then I performed my final. I had this like freeing experience where I lost like everybody that was around me. I didn't even see them anymore. I was just so focused in on what I was presenting that I got lost. I got lost in the moment, as Eminem says. It's like it's a real thing.
But it hit you like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is right where I'm supposed to be. Let me
Absolutely.
ask you a little bit about, okay, we had obviously, a little bit of pivoting going on with COVID. So in everybody's world, including your world, and then you took, you are now mobile. You
Yes.
were, so and you do some other things. So share with us, like, kind of how that pivot happened, number one,
Okay.
and then what the future holds, number two, for
Okay.
you.
Absolutely. So when COVID hit, wasn't really sure how to DJ because it wasn't really a viable thing since nobody was able to gather. And our company, excuse me, I have to give amazing credit to Tyler Huffman and Shelly Anderson, my business partners that I've had the opportunity to work with. They create a live streaming service in the midst of a pandemic when we were all locked down in California, to where it's called Be There. And what it entails is a live streaming service where you could still have your wedding. You don't have to postpone. You don't have to cancel. At the time, based upon restrictions in how many guests you could have, we could bring in a camera, connect via to the internet, and then live stream your wedding or event to your guests that are either out of town, that are either immunocompromisable, and I know that's very impactful in your world, to where they couldn't physically be present, but they could still be there and still see the wedding or the event that we were hosting at the time. And one of the biggest opportunities that we had was connecting. I have a friend that lives in Seattle. She is the director of a senior care living facility. And she is over multiple locations, not only in Seattle, but also on the East Coast in New York City. So she wanted to do what was called a senior dance-a-thon, where her patients that she took care of, the family members were not allowed to go and visit in person. So what she wanted to do was create an opportunity to bring her her guests in front of the cameras that we had set up in Seattle and New York City. And then all the family members were able to tune in and watch their grandparents wave hi to the camera, do a little dance to a song that they requested. And TERRAN, I
was going to say,
I would never have imagined that I would have had an opportunity to DJ for a senior care facility, to be able to creatively create an opportunity for family members to connect with their grandparents, with their parents, these facilities, and just seeing, there wasn't a dry eye in the room that was watching their grandparents come in and giving them a little spotlight and a lot of love.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was gonna say, like, that's a tearjerker for sure. I mean, it's a happy tearjerker. It's tears of joy, right? Because
Absolutely.
I think we all were. I mean, a lot of us, let's say, knew somebody in that situation where we couldn't get to them.
Yeah.
So, and these things are gonna, unfortunately, they're gonna continue to probably be around for a little bit of time. Who knows what it's going to look like. But it's opened up a new world or space, for people like yourself to, like I said, pivot and still be able to give back, pivot, continue with your business, but also give back to people who are trying to find a way to stay connected,
Absolutely.
during this time, because this time, and to your point of compromised people, they'll always be there, right? Whether COVID's here or not. So these opportunities, there are lots of, like you said, things and events that you could think of and say, I don't know if we want this many people actually here.
Yeah.
That's here to stay, I think, regardless. People are gonna. So, but now they have an opportunity to say, I don't know, they can be, somebody can be here, but the whole world can actually be here.
That's right. Yeah, we've been able to live stream for, let's say, like an Indian American fusion wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It was really refreshing to hear from the parents of the couple that, like, hey, like we had family members tuning in from India, from Europe, from South America, from Australia, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Amazing. So
Yeah. So we got a few more minutes left. Anything else you want to share with us? And like I said, anything like, future or anything in that arena? And then I have one last final question for you after that.
Yeah. So I guess, like, after sharing my story with you, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Fiction will always better you. Like, take that leap of faith. If you've been sitting on something that you're like, you've been kind of like on the fence, like, go for it. Like, I would, oh my gosh, like, just go, try, try. It's you won't get it. Like, it's the first time you jump out of a plane, the parachute doesn't open right away. It is scary, absolutely, but if it will happen. It will. I'm living proof of that. Living proof.
I think believing in yourself, like you said, is key. And I do like you said, the part that you mentioned about putting the hard work behind it. Because I always say this saying, hard work beats hustle, or hard work beats talent when talent doesn't hustle, or something like that. That's not exactly it, but hard work trumps it all, because you gotta work hard.
That's
and you
right.
gotta put it behind you, or hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. That's what it is. And so that's what you're doing. You're hustling, right? You got to get it out there. You got to do it. And people forget that part. They want to have I'm the DJ.
Yeah.
And not do that part that takes them to getting there.
Yeah.
And I think in your world, it seems like that could happen a lot. People want to just go there. I can do this. And then they're like, no, not actually. It's not like I thought it was, and to your point, people, know that and can see that in their work,
Yep.
where some people probably don't, I wouldn't say think that, so I'm glad that you mentioned the hard work that goes behind it. And even though we see you as a ball of fun, you put in a lot of hard work that went behind it. So you cannot, I just started asking this question like 2 episodes ago. So you cannot tell Cynthia that I asked this question.
Oh, okay.
So if she's there, she has to plug her ears.
Okay, she is not in the room.
So you follow me enough to know that I have all my cats. I have cats, and I'm a cat lady. And they always say that cats, curiosity kills the cats kind of thing. So I'm going to start asking my guests, what is one thing, and it can be in your space of what you do, or it can be anything. What is one thing in your world that you are curious about?
So
that's my cat's question from him to you.
Yeah. So
that's the last one.
So to answer that question is I'm always curious to pursue my wife, learning her love languages And as we grow as individuals, pursuing my partner and just wanting to be as transparent, as open, and as vulnerable as I can with her.
I love that. Oh, hugs to both of you. But now she can't watch this. She can't watch this until after hers is over.
Okay, I will definitely let.
Now she's going to know the question and the answer. Well, we appreciate it. It is 8 o'clock right on the dot. I mean, thank you. I mean, again, like I said, I just want to thank you because I always, you didn't have to, right? And so I want to thank you for doing so, for coming on, for sharing. Hello, everyone. Everyone, I tried to wave to everyone pretty much that came on. I know somebody just came on. Renee, you just came on. So, I just thank you because, like I said, without people to participate in this thing I've started, there is no show. And I always get somebody that says, just thank you. So I need to return that back to you guys as guests and to you and say thank you. Because I want to create a space where people can come on, they can share, they can be themselves. This is organic. It's just a discussion, a talk, TERRAN and Michael hanging out. And thank you, Renee. And yes, Michael is also doing an amazing job, so both of us. So I just appreciate it, Michael. I look forward to continuing to stay in touch with you. And I do eventually want to I need to decide when this is going to be. Like, I'm booking so many new guests, which is amazing. So it's amazing. I need to do a Where Are They Now? So I want to get some people, I want to get you guys back on in like a year and say, what's up? Like, what are some of the things we talked about on this episode and kind of how, you've moved forward or where you are. So I do want to do a kind of Where Are They Now episode. So I'm going to definitely keep you on tap for that. Of course, when you're in Chicago, please let me know. Definitely if you're having an event here that's open to the public, for sure, okay. Let me know. Okay. And I will keep you in mind as well. And I just say thank you. I'm looking forward to talking to your beautiful bride next week. And I will shoot one of you guys, I think I have her number too, but one of you guys a text message, just like I did with yourself. And if you have any questions or she has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much. This is episode number 56, concluded and in the books of the TERRAN Lamp Show. Check us out on all platforms, IGTV, YouTube, now on all podcast platforms as well.
Yes.
Be good to yourself and each other. Bye-bye.